میگه یه بار یه ایستادی رفت توی تبریز با پرش بود و خروسش رسید یه بچه تبریزی گفت که به من از راه هستم یه نونی یه آبیسی بیار گرسنمه. خب مسئله نیست که یه هندونه هم داشت گفت گاوم گرسنه شه خروسم گرسنه. تو ببین هندونه داری یه هندونه داری خودت بخور هندونه‌شو خوش جمع دیگه تو نمی‌خوام اینجا بگو این جای من نیست بیزنس نمیشه با الیوت بیزنس نمیشه
سلام باش very good very good okay we did Mishnah Yud Zayin we did Mishnah Yud Zayin but I don't think we did the Rambam of it. Oh no, we did everything. We did. We are up to Yutet. Shmuel HaKatan Omer. Shmuel HaKatan says, "Binfol oivecha al tismach." When your enemy falls, do not be happy. Uvkoshlo al yagel livecha. And when he stumbles, do not be overjoyed. Pen yireh Hashem. Maybe Hashem will see vera be'enav. And he won't like it. Hashem won't like it. Hashem won't like it. V'heshiv min ala vapo. And then Hashem's anger will be returned from him, from that enemy of yours. This is an unbelievable Gemara. Gemara says, Kol mi shene'enash chavero ba'avuro en nichnasin ito b'mechisato shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's an unbelievable thing. Gemara says that if somebody is punished because of me, then I myself will be deprived of Olam Haba. Because he's punished because of me. Because Pasuk says, Lo yagurcha ra. Badness, evil cannot be together the same place with Hashem. It cannot be nichnas, it cannot be entered within the mechitza, within the surrounding of Hashem.
Bad.
Right. If I am the cause of any evil, any calamity, any tragedy, I don't belong there. Why is that? Because Hashem is anti-Ra.
Justice.
Okay. What does justice mean?
Getting even.
Right? So when Hashem does justice, that's exactly what is justice. It's for the right thing. It's for the right reason. It's for the right reason. Hashem doesn't do it because Hashem enjoys punishing. When you punish your child, when we punish our child, hopefully, we are all parents the way it should be. We don't enjoy punishing them. It's just that we do it as a job. I do it for the right reasons. Right? Two people could be cutting into someone else's flesh. One is trying to save his life. The other one is trying to torture him. One is Ra, one is Tov. Both are painful. Both are painful. One is Ra, one is Tov. Ra cannot be together with Hashem. Hashem performs surgeries sometimes. There are cancerous things within this world, within people, that Hashem has to deal with. Takes out those cancers. Deals with it. Deals with problems. But the intention is never Ra. Ra doesn't even come near the sphere of Hashem. The Ramchal has a sefer. It's called Da'at Tevunot. So it goes deeper than Derech Hashem. As difficult as Derech Hashem is, Da'at Tevunot goes much deeper. And I'll be honest with you, I tried to read it, my head starts to spin. I don't. It's very, very difficult. I mean, so how how everything works, and how the Hashgacha of Hashem, and how every case, how it goes, and then he comes to a case, back and forth, how will that work, and it comes, just imagine, it comes too difficult and too deep and too confusing for him. Imagine what that happens. So he says like this, look, the bottom line is, goodness comes from Hashem. So therefore, it is unlimited. It's infinite. It will never end. Evil comes from lack. Evil comes from the fact that Hashem's hashpah, Hashem's goodness is not there. So by definition, it has an end. It's limited. It's finite. So unlimited will win over limited. That's the answer he gives, because that is a creation. The other one is a lack. Goodness comes from Hashem, and the other one is just a lack. It's not a real thing. It's lacking. It's lacking. So everything good comes from Hashem. Justice, for the right reason, is good. But revenge is bad. Now the case Gemara says is unbelievable. Gemara says Nebuchadnezzar took all the kings that he had captured. He would take it to his thing, and he would torture them, he would hurt them, he would molest them, it says. And what? I cannot hear you. Yes.
Physical?
Yes. Right. And he tried to do the same thing to Tzidkiyahu, the Tzaddik Melech of Yehuda, and Hashem made a ness that he couldn't. He was punished. Nebuchadnezzar was punished. So Gemara originally thinks that Tzidkiyahu was also punished because you were the cause of punishment. I don't go like this. This is what Chachamim said.
I understand. I'm not saying.
And Gemara says, Yula and Daf Yomi. What does Gemara say? What is the conclusion of the Gemara? That he wasn't punished because Tzidkiyahu was not at fault because he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. I had nothing. Here you are trying to hurt me, and Hashem took care of you.
Hashem did it.
I didn't do anything. But if one is truly after punishing, look, somebody steals from me. I have a right to go demand my money from me. I have a right to argue, right to take him to bed. I have a right to do all those things. So he gave me that right. And then there are certain punishments. You know, we don't do Dinei Kenasot right now. But at the time that we had Sanhedrin Musmachin, you stole from me, you owe double. Give me the double. And I don't have to forgive you till you give me the double. You owe it to me. But the fact that I want you to be hurt, that says something about me. That says something within me is not right. Something within me is not right. If it was my own brother, if it was my child, what would I want to do? I would want him to get better. I would want him to get better. Right? It says Gemara in Gittin says there was this person, this Talmid Chacham, who had a couple of people in his block that really had it out for him. They were giving him tzarat, as they say. They were giving him a hard time. Day in, I think so. Day in, day out. So finally he had enough. He came to Rabbi Elazar. He said, Rabbi Elazar, can I pray that they should? I pray that they should get better. And that's what happens. That's what happens. You truly care for them, things will change. Things will change. Right? Yitamu chataim velo kativ yitamu chotim. Rashi Masachet Megillah brings down a thing. A lot of times we don't understand. We see things. Because you know what? I said this. You know what the problem with the world is? I don't know. I said this last time also. Yeah, we have to try so hard to combat it. But even at the end of the day, it's not gonna. It could never be. I don't think it could ever be perfect. See, the problem with the world is that we look at everything through our own glasses, not through anybody else's glasses. When we are told about David HaMelech, what do we see? We see what I am myself. You know. Right? When we look at, so a lot of people have come and asked me these type of questions. You know, in Tehillim it says this, it says that. So Rashi Masachet Megillah brings down Shavor Zeroa Rasha. In Tehillim says, break Zeroa, the strength of Rasha. Someone translated the arm of Rasha. What was he praying for, David HaMelech? That what should happen to them? What does Rashi say? Right? So Rashi says, Hashem, he was praying help that they should not go and steal from someone. They should not go and take advantage of someone. Before they do, Shua Zarua, take away their strength, take away their power. They shouldn't do it. This is what David HaMelech was concerned about. He's praying, he's crying, he has tears coming down. Not that they should be punished, their arm should break. They shouldn't do that, they shouldn't destroy themselves. And Ramchal brings that down. Ramchal brings that down in a place that David HaMelech was praying a lot of times for Reshaim, and this is what we see a lot of times. We mistranslate it because, as I said, we look at through our own glasses. What David HaMelech, Reshaim should be this, my enemies should be that. Everything that he was saying, you're translating it wrong. He was praying for them, literally praying for them. Praying for them.
Yet he would kill 800 or 1,000 with one.
Anybody that deserves, that's the halacha, that's the halacha. But you're doing it for the right reason. So it's also a type of surgery that needs to be done.
Killing people by thousands?
If that's the halacha, look, we know how strict the case is against giving psak that someone deserves to die. But if that's the halacha, that's the thing. Sometimes that is the best thing that one could be done. Last week we read Parashat Ben Sorer. Ben Sorer, Gemara says never happened. Never happened. Never will happen. Why? Because the bar of requirements are so high, it's impossible. Impossible ever you will have all the conditions. It's just not possible. Right? The father and the mother, they could have never disagreed together with each other against the in front of the child. If the father and mother ever disagreed in front of the child, sorry, it's not his fault. It's not totally his fault. You guys argue that. What do you want from it? You already threw out the... And then tens and tens of other requirements before we make somebody chayav for Soben Surmer. So Mr. Achdut,
yes,
why argue us? Torah is to fill the page. LA Times Lahavdil needs to fill 24 pages every day. So sometimes they just print some nonsense. But Torah needed to. Why tell me something is never going to happen? Why?
To be fearful.
Of?
Be careful. There's a
My
lot.
son says Lidrosh Ulukaber Sachar.
No. There's a lot to learn.
That's what Lidrosh Ulukaber Sachar means. So for you to learn it and receive reward, the ideas are important. Doesn't matter will we ever play, but the fact that the fact that now arguing before your child how harmful it is, that's worth it. Yes, this scenario is theoretical only, but the theory teaches you a lot of practical things. A lot of practical things. When Sodom and Gomorrah only happens when he was 13 years old. It tells us the importance of setting the right course when they're a teenager. Only in the teenage year that Ben Sodom and Gomorrah could happen. Ben Sodom and Gomorrah didn't do anything that is, let's call it, on the paper wrong. So he likes barbecue, he likes to drink. Right? Talks about Ben Sodom and Gomorrah, Moshe Feinstein says, is the source of addiction. How horrible and destructive addictions are. That's what it says. It says he will be addicted to drinks and to barbecue. Right? מבקש לימודו ולא נמצא. מבקש לימודו ולא נמצא. So he's going to end up stealing, which is a reality we see every day in this country. Right? People steal car radios and they grab onto them. Why? To get their fix. That's what almost all the theft, not all. To get their fix. To get their drugs. I said this another time. I was somewhere. This political science, really a big thinker in Baltimore. He gave a lecture. City officials, everybody. He put a proposal with numbers, figures, the cost, the budget. He said the city of Baltimore, the people, the residents of city of Baltimore will save, I don't know how much money every year. It was like every single person on average would save $1,200. If they paid extra taxes, to make all the punishments of drug addicts go away and just provide them free rehab. And he had all the figures and everything. He said Baltimore is 60% African American. Of the African American population, males between the age of 18 to 50, over 75% are drug users.
Wow.
Right? There are drug users within the white community, there are drug users within the women also, but he was talking about statistics. On average, they need $20 a fix to get their fix. Right? If any of them had any money, the first few months they blew it. They lose their jobs once they become addicts. What do they do? Right? What do they do? What do they do? This is something every Jew in Baltimore has addicts. What do? They grab people's bikes, they break and take people's radio from the car, they run into a Jewish home and they steal the silver candlesticks. And they go to the pawn shop and they sell it for a fraction of the price. They steal the CD player in your car that costed you $200, they sell it literally for $20 to get their fix. So he was saying that we save so much more money if take the incentive away from them stealing and just send them for rehab. Pay for them to get better. Because we are paying for their drugs. That was his point. We are paying for their drugs. They're stealing it from our houses. They're stealing it from our cars. So good. But that, I'm not advocating his solution. But I'm saying the point he made is in last week's parasha. Rashi says they will want their addiction. They can't do it, and they will rob. So Amar Torah Yamut Chayav Yamut Zakai Ve'al Yamut Chayav. Torah says much better for himself to be punished before he gets there. That's the answer to your question. Yes. Some cases it's better. It's the biggest favor one could do to them. But there is a halacha for everything. Right? The Melech did Birshut Sanhedrin. That's also the Gemara. Gemara says when he was read, they thought he was going to be like Esav, and they said, no. David will kill Birshut Sanhedrin, not like Esav, who sort of became a free-for-all for killing. So at any rate, this is our Mishnah, Shemor Lakatan. One sees bin follow Ivecha. What is the joy that you have? That he hurt. Good. Did he hurt me? Then I'm connection. Is that what? Then look, I'm not saying it's a natural inclination within all of us, including myself, or perhaps only myself. I don't know everybody else. But if you're doing selichot right now, you're doing vayavo. Why do we say vayavo? To teach us how Hashem deals. Mahu rachum afato rachum. Mahu chanun afato chanun. To teach us this is how Hashem does. Hashem, like a father to a child. Not happy that you got hurt. I'm also hurt, but I'm happy that you got better. When I take my children to the dentist, I cry with them sometimes when they're crying from the drill. I also cry. It's difficult. It's really difficult to see, when they're younger, 4 or 5, to see them be so hurt. But I'm happy. I know things are getting better.
You pay for it.
What?
You pay for it.
I go pay for it and I beg them for an appointment. Very good. So Hashem does the same thing to us. Sometimes He has to take the infection out. So He takes the infection out. It may not be such a pleasant experience. Now, what are you happy about? You happy that He inflicted pain, or you happy that He cleaned up the infection? That's the difference between Ra or not Ra. And we need to work within our humanity. Yes, I want him to get better, and I'm happy that through that pain, the infection is out, the problem is out, hopefully. But just to be happy that he got what he deserved.
But there are degrees. There is a person who just cuts you in the freeway, or there's a person for decades and decades.
Yeah.
He steals your money. He bothers you. He tortures your family. Things like that. There's a degree to that. I mean, you cannot compare.
Listen, you're talking to me at a moment that I'm going through something, and I know how difficult it is. One member in this class knows what I'm going through, so I guess he'll vouch that I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy. But I think two things we have to keep in mind. At the end of the day, we are as responsible as them. Somehow we deserve it, either because of this Gilgul or the previous Gilgul. We deserve it. That doesn't mean he is absolved. If somebody is hurting me, that doesn't make him absolved. He has to answer for everything, whether he has an answer or not. He's going to be judged for everything that he does. But the fact that Hashem allowed him to hurt me says that I deserved it somehow, somewhere. Either in this Gilgul or the previous
I'm
Gilgul.
allowing it.
What?
That's the only question.
At any rate, but hold on. Let me finish. So, what?
Am I allowing it and I shouldn't? Or is it Hashem's?
That's a question you need to ask.
That-
If you have a way to stop it, so you go ask.
Legal way.
Yeah, you ask.
Moral.
I know where you want to drag me, and I don't want to be dragged.
No.
But the point is,
I didn't mean it. It's the right way to stop it.
Yeah, you should. Of course. And maybe that's part of your nisayon. Part of your nisayon. Yaakov needed, before Yaakov could have Shevatim, he needed to deal with Lavan. Now, Yaakov didn't steal a penny from Lavan, but he thought of, if Lavan thought of 100 ways to trick him, so Yaakov thought of 200 ways to protect himself. And I said, he told Rachel, tell your father that I'm, not my cup of tea. Yaakov said, not my cup of tea. But if he wants to go that route, I'm there with him. Right? So yes, that may be, but within halacha. I'm going to finish where I start with Yaakov. It says by Yaakov, when Yaakov heard Esau is coming, Vayira Yaakov me'od vayetzer lo. Yaakov hears Esau is coming, Vayira Yaakov me'od, he got very scared, vayetzer lo, and he got anxious. Why did he get both scared and anxious? What's the difference? What does Rashi say, anybody?
He was afraid to kill him.
He was afraid to be killed. He was anxious, maybe he will kill. Look, if he comes to fight, my obligation is to fight back and try to kill him. But that's not something I'm looking forward to. Yes, sometimes we have to do. But are we looking forward to it? Then there's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with him. If somebody is looking to hurt somebody, somebody is looking to say Lashon Hara, waiting. I found somebody who's mutter to say Lashon Hara about.
Cool.
So then there's something wrong inside. That should be a mirror that tells us where we need to work. Okay.
So this is part of this arur, the other cares.
Yeah. They're all like that. They're all the drill of the dentist. Every single one of them is the drill of the dentist.
To get better.
That's what he means when he says, "Oh, Hashem is telling us this is what it's going to need." You go to the doctor. The doctor tells you, "My friend, your cholesterol is high. You got to change your diet, or that's what Shalom he could have a coronary." That's arur. If you eat this, you will be coronary. Why is he saying? He was trying to curse the patient? No. That's what arur means.
Everything is positive.
Of course, Torah is only positive. Okay.
Apology.